Dropping headphones, not very smart. My name is Total Biscuit. This is Blue Please here on WoW Radio. Oh yeah. Yes, I still have something in my throat left. I'm kind of practicing for the 24-hour thing by shouting a lot and seeing if I lose my voice. The answer is no! It doesn't happen. Just consider yourself lucky right now that I'm not talking in a broad Geordie accent, because that's what I've been doing for the past week, and it's been disturbing people on Ventrilo. Since I've started work with, of course, everyone being a Geordie, except for the one guy that I talked to who's a Hungarian, I've started talking in a Geordie accent because, well, talking like this tends to freak people out. Thankfully not on the radio, because you're all still listening. Now, let's talk a little bit about craftable epic cloaks. Oh yes. So, I believe the cannon has been fixed and reloaded, with grape shot I might add. Therefore, if I press the following button... Yay! It fires, wonderful. That is not a shot across the bows, that is, in fact... a full broadside in the direction of Octel and Hordite versus the world. Yes, let me tell you a story. There's actually a thread going on right now in the Octel and Hordite versus the world forum, whereby they have claimed that gaining a craftable epic item from an achievement is wrong! Yes, wrong. Oh, really? Okay. Now, here's the thing. Their objection, of course, is based entirely on a logical fallacy. So here's the situation. Those who do not know how this works, here is how it goes. Okay. You can acquire a craftable epic cloak, the recipe to make it, from the Northrend Lawmaster achievement, which requires you to complete 95% of the quests in the game. You know, it's, well, the expansion at any rate. You need, I believe, 8 different achievements, all of the ones for completing almost all of the quests in the particular zone. So you need, like, Faux Shizzle My Grizzle, for instance, which is an awful name for anything. There's nothing boring about Borean, except for Borean. You know, that's pretty boring, but otherwise, no. It's not boring at all. There's all manner of different achievements you can get for that, and by gaining all of them, you gain access to a certain craftable epic item, which is pretty good. It's not bad. It's on the level of Nax gear. For Shadow Priest, it's exceptionally good, but for other classes, it's pretty much on the level of Nax gear. Now, of course, the argument that they have been making is that because they've decided to give this craftable epic cloak as a reward for an achievement, that it's a bad thing, and that it's indeed catering? What is that? Catering to entitled casuals. That's actually quite a complex kind of phrase. Try and say it 3 times, fast. No, try and say it backwards. No, I'll give you a prize for that one. Now, the issue that I take with this is that there is no way that an entitled casual is going to do 95% of all of the quests in Northrend. It's just not going to happen. The kind of person that is going to do them, there's 2 kinds of people. There are the raiders who understand how the game works and understand that a certain effort must be put in, and effort equals time, time equals effort in this game. It's the same thing. Give or take. Now, there's really there's no real difference, aside from there are 2 groups of people. There are people who can, and there are people who can't. Effort is irrelevant. Effort is still time. You can still put effort into something and fail miserably. It doesn't matter. Now, that requires a certain amount of finesse, a certain amount of expertise, skill, whatever you want to call it. So you've got the raiders who will do that, and then you've got the people who can't raid, but still understand that principle. And indeed, those are the guys who are more likely to go for the achievement. Then, of course, you've got the entitled casuals who are not going to go for the achievement because it's too hard! Talking about entitled casuals makes me sick, as you can see. It makes me physically ill. Ugh. Let me try that again. I don't know how they speak repeatedly without kind of bursting out a coughing fit. It's too hard! That's an entitled casual for you. Entitled casuals are the people that want something for nothing. Not something for a lot of something. No. They can't have that, because that's unfair. I don't have the time to do 95% of the quests. I don't have the time to do the instances. I shouldn't be forced to do the instances. Oh, the raiding. Oh, it's for the 5 people in the basement. What do you mean it's 25 people? It's for the 5 people. They're the minority. Ah! No, they're actually not the minority. Not anymore. Go and have a look at it. WoW Jutsu clearly proves this is not the case. Now, already we have seen Waojutsu says this, that 25%, or is it 20? 20% of the guilds in WoW have killed everything in 25-man Nax a month after release. Raiding is for everyone now because they made it incredibly easy. Of course, it's not going to make a difference. Why? Because the people raiding, well, there's still the people who wanted to raid before. The people who don't want to raid aren't going to raid just because it's easier. It's not going to happen. They're still entitled casuals. Wah! Raiding's for people in basements. That's a big bloody basement. You fit 25 people in that. I tell you. There are 1.4 million players currently raiding in one form or another, and that number is only going to go up. There are 14,000 guilds currently raiding. That number is only going to go up. The thing is about this whole argument and the silliness of the logic behind it is that there is no entitled casuals going for this thing. It doesn't happen because the entitled casuals are the whiners. Nobody likes the whiners. We all hate the entitled casuals. The real casual players who can't play an awful lot hate the entitled casuals because they give them a bad name. And they don't want an easy ride, they just want the ability to ride at all. You know, it doesn't have to be an easy ride. The ball may try and throw them off, but they're still going to try it anyway. And the raiders hate them, of course, for obvious reasons, because the raiders want difficult content and they feel the entitled casuals are dumbing down the game. They would, of course, be absolutely 100% correct, as you can clearly see by the fact that 20% of people have already beaten Nax within a month of launch. Game's too easy. That is clear. But anyway, that is not the point of this particular discussion. The Lawmaster achievement is not a symptom of the game getting easier, no. All the Lawmaster achievement is a stealth rep grind. That is all it is. I mean, have a look. Have a look in the past. We've got stuff like, more recently, Aldor and Scryer. Aldor and Scryer rep could be acquired without setting foot in a single instance. You could get exalted. No problem at all. You could do it solo. And of course, what are the rewards? Oh yes, craftable epics and actual epics. Actual epics for 50 gold. Indeed, every faction in TBC was like that. You didn't even have to go into a heroic to get exalted. You could still get exalted, if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, by doing normal 5-mans. You had to go into the last one, the level 71, but you could still do it. There are plenty of examples, indeed, going all the way back to Molten Core. The Thorian Brotherhood, craftable epics, could be made, and indeed the rep could be ground by using BOE materials. You didn't have to go raiding to get this stuff, and it was raid quality. Back in the day, the Flare Core pants, which is what you could get, the Flare Core leggings, or whatever you called them, were the best Fire Mage leggings in the entire game. Indeed, they were then changed to generic spell power, and they were still the best caster leggings in the game. It was only beaten out when they brought out AQ 20 and 40. Assyrian dropped some better stuff. AQ 40 dropped better Fire Mage gear, and then of course Naxxramas with Thaddeus and the leggings of Polarity. So yeah, you got the fourth best leggings in the game, and indeed for about 2 years are still the best leggings in the game. And they can be acquired and crafted entirely with BOE material. Now, if you're arguing that is bad and that is wrong, then I would ask you to turn around and say, well, surely all reputation grinds by that logic are wrong. Now, what I'm going to say is this. I'm a raider at heart, and I love raiding. I think raiding's fantastic. I think raiding's the best thing. It's wonderful. But you cannot apply your standards to everybody. There becomes a point where you have to give ground in favour of other people. Yes, absolutely. I would love to see the game be nothing more than hard raid encounters that 95% of people were incapable of doing, but it's not going to happen. They have 12 million players, and a lot of them are really stupid. There's no way that that's ever going to happen. The thing is, there's a sizable portion of the community who are not stupid, but just don't have the time. And that's fine. Since 2005, I've been championing the cause of progressive content. And lo and behold, it came in the form of rep grinds. And the rep grinds have got better and better. Silithis, prime example of progressive content. All manner of different things. Rep grinds are good for some people. They have items which are useful and are good. They can be used to replace some early raid gear or can craft things which are unusual or otherwise unique, side grades. It's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, some people find them boring, but you're not everybody. Rep grinds have done nothing but good things to the game. At least in my honest opinion. I think the only bad thing that a rep grind has ever done to the game was the heroic keys. But of course, you know, that got nerfed out later on, and that's now been taken out of the game entirely. So, who cares? Rep grinds are a good thing, because you can do them at your own pace, and they yield some pretty decent gear. Now, yielding craftable epics, stuff like recipes, I think that's a great idea. I think it's awesome. I think there is absolutely no reason whatsoever to say that is a bad thing, because it's not. It is not a bad thing at all. Not in the slightest. You're still going to make it. In my opinion, there needs to be more of this stuff. If all of the good achievements, all of the ones that actually required some effort, and yes, effort equals time, there is no difference. You know, do not equate effort with skill. Our guild can race through Naxxramas 25, man, and it takes them very little effort. Why? Because they are skilled in one form or another. Effort doesn't come into it. I'm going to walk up to 80, and once I start raiding with these guys, I'm going to be drowning in epics eventually. Is it going to require a lot of effort from me? No! I already know these encounters. Raiding to me is old hat, especially with Naxxramas. I could do it with my eyes shut. Mainly because all I do is pound Frostbolt, but whatever, I can still do it with my eyes shut. Mages are a skillful class, damn it. I will execute anyone that says otherwise. It seems to me that so much anger is going towards casual players that it's, you know, all of these kind of things are becoming blurred together. You have to notice that there is a difference between the entitled casual and the casual. The entitled casual deserves no sympathy. The casual deserves to be catered to because they are a significant portion of the player base. Any portion of the player base deserves to be catered to as long as they're willing to work for it. Yes, doing 95% of the quests in Northrend takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and it is unnecessary. You know, it is going above and beyond. And going above and beyond gets you rewarded. That's the way it works. That is how it goes. That's how WoW's always worked. That's how MMOs have always worked. It's not about skill, it's about time. It's not about effort, it's about time. Time spent. If you look at the way raids work, of course, you take the time spent, multiply it by 25 or 10, and it works out that way. You look at the progressive content, i.e. the rep grinds, as a single person or a small group, thereby it takes longer. It makes perfect sense. There's nothing wrong with the system. So, what I would say to people that would, you know, agree that, oh lol, it's achievements, and oh lol, slippery slope, like, you heard me talk about slippery slopes. Generally speaking, they never happen. Now, there is a couple of genuine slippery slopes that have happened, and specifically that was with making raiding easier. You know, that's a slippery slope. But when it comes to this kind of thing, you know, achievements, Blizzard have never, ever, ever, in a million years, come around and said, okay, for jumping off a cliff, you get this epic item. That has never happened. That never will happen. Ever. And as far as I'm concerned, specific achievements should be rewarded. I don't mind people going for achievements as long as they actually have achieved something. Jumping off a cliff is not an achievement. You shouldn't be rewarded for that. You should be punished, slapped around the head. It's like, congratulations, you are an idiot. Running into 10 mines. You are an idiot. That's the way it goes. People will never be rewarded for that. It's not going to happen. Blizzard are not stupid. You know, you've got to get this into your head. Blizzard makes some interesting decisions, some of which I do not agree with, but they are not stupid by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, achievements as stealth rep grinds. Go for it. Why not? Absolutely. They are more interesting than rep grinds. I would like all rep grinds to go away and be replaced with achievements. That would be nice. Why not? It's the same thing, it's just more pleasant. It's like arguing that, oh, we better take quests out of the game because people should just be grinding instead. No, it's the same thing. Quests are more fun. That's why the game was so successful to begin with. The questing idea was one of the things that was highlighted in most of the reviews. This is a natural progression on from that. It's like a quest. You know, some achievements are like quests. They're just a lot harder. So yeah. Never underestimate Blizzard when it comes to things like this. They are very good at balancing. Exceptionally good at balancing the population's interests between casual and hardcore. They have made some mistakes with the raid content. I have no doubt at this point that they will fix that. They have seen how it goes, they've seen the numbers, and there's only one way to interpret them. When it comes to achievements, I'm confident that they will not muck it up. So yeah, if you have an answer to that one, it goes out to Oaktail and Hordak, as well as anyone else that seems to believe what they have to say, then by all means, bring it on. I will be happy to engage you. My name is Total Biscuit. This is Blue Please on WoW Radio. I'll be right back after this. Enjoy.